Hello and welcome to Football 301. I am your host, Nate Tice. We are live reacting to Week 12. I'm with my guy, Mr. Forverts, Charles McDonald. We are here to recap quite a day. There's a long witching hours today. So how are you doing today, Chuck? How are you surviving that Eagles-Cowboys marathon? That was entertaining, but it was a marathon. Good to see you.
Uh, yeah, it was very entertaining. I felt like Fox they were trying to milk every possible second they could out of that broadcast because I was worried that we were about to hit overtime if they had missed a kick at the end, but luckily they made it and we got their regulation at like 7:50 Eastern time. So wow, that was a long game, but like you said, it was a good one, and I'm glad that the Cowboys. Did not walk into an embarrassing week on first take, which they looked like they were going to do in the first half.
Yeah, right after we hype them up a little bit, we go like, "Hey, look, check out what
Right.
they're doing." They go down 21-0, but like you said, turned it into an entertaining game and what was a little less than ideal afternoon slate. But we'll get to all of that
Yeah.
right now with the ups and downs of Week 12 with 3 highs, 3 lows. Like we mentioned, like we hinted at, the Cowboys keep their playoff hopes alive with a comeback victory, a tale of two halves. Cowboys win this game 24-21. They are still in the hunt somehow, some way. It's not a, I wouldn't say a snowball's chance in hell, but it's not much bigger than that. But they still got a chance as they beat the Eagles in a excellent, I would say, second half defensive performance from the Cowboys
Yeah.
defense, and then a lot of George Pickens and a lot of Dak in the second half as well. But I had to drop this stat. That was the lowest rushing success rate for the Eagles offense in a game in a decade since week 2 of 2015, a
Wow.
18.8% rushing success rate, 0 explosive runs for the Eagles. Great job by that Cowboys defense responding. We felt the new Quinnen Williams, Chuck. We said Quinnen Williams,
Oh
top 10
yeah.
defender, just feel him, and you felt him today.
Yeah. The Eagles in the second half they had 0% rushing success rate. Like
Wow.
that when you're trying to close that game out, if you can't run the ball at all like you want to, it's obviously gonna be really hard for that particular offense to kind of get things going. And then it just felt like things spiraled from there. Like, just overall in the second half, total EPA minus 11.3. So you can just tell right there they weren't getting much out of the times they did have the ball. Quentin Williams was awesome today. Our friend Keegan Abdul Next Gen
Yeah.
Stats told us earlier today he had a career high pressures today against the Eagles, and we saw him play last week against
Hate
the
him.
Raiders. Like he is rejuvenated, he's back, and I think it's like we talked about with the preview show. When you add someone like that, it's kind of like adding like a good player to your offensive line, where you can kind of maybe like mix and match a little bit more, but it's even more pronounced on defense because now we like, have this anchor in the middle. So Kenny Clark's our DT2. Oh well, that's pretty good. Osa gets to be more of a pass rushing guy. That's much better for him. And now we have like this all world guy who can do I was gonna say a little bit of everything, but no, it's a lot of bit of everything as we saw
Mm-hmm.
today. Like, it's Jerry, he's kind of like backed his way into rebuilding the base of this pretty quickly. And now like I'm just totally interested to see what they do next offseason. Like if they can pull off a corner, that'd be great. But even like right now, they might have enough to kind of go on a little run here and threaten for the playoffs because the offense is obviously really good. Dak Prescott again played out of his mind today. And then now the defense has like a true ace again that they were missing after they traded Michael Parsons.
Yeah, and a game that, with all the chaos that kind of happened, with all the fumbles and stuff, pick in the red zone by Dak, a fourth down stop, turnover on downs in the red zone, a missed field goal, another sequence where it went fumble, CD Lamb gets overturned, and then literally the next play, Turpin fumbles. I feel like those are all the games that the Eagles have been winning this year. That's kind of just what they do because they're a good team, and they kind of, okay, you made that mistake, but the defense answered. And yeah, so Quentin Williams had 8 pressures, 3 of them quick. His average time to pressure was 2.46 seconds. So a quick pressure is defined as 2.5 seconds. So he averaged under a quick pressure for his 8 pressures today. The Eagles had 14 penalties today. That was something
Yeah, very
and you
sloppy.
really did feel that, where they just had a little bit of sloppiness. I thought the Eagles, that obviously they went up 21-0, but they came out and like had some good answers, like spam the ball to AJ Brown. That's kind of a good answer. But Jalen Hurts hits a bender to AJ Brown, and then he scores on the design run TD. And I was like, see, it's not that hard. Just throw go balls at Devontae Smith, throw something to AJ Brown, and run it, Jalen Hurts, and you're good. And then for the rest of the game, it just didn't feel that way. But it was at first I was like, look at that, they just shoved it right in my face because that's exactly what I was saying that they need to be doing, and they did for a quarter and just kind of tapered off. But man, Pickens. So like, and even going into like this is going to feel like the rest of the season with the Eagles defense is if you target non-Quinion Mitchell guys, it can go well for you. Quinion Mitchell had a PBU on a quick slant to CD Lamb. That was great. He got targeted 4 times, only gave up 2 catches for 16 yards, 2 tight window targets. Cooper DeJean, who I think is a very good slot defender, had probably, as tough of a game as I've ever seen him. He's only allowed, this is another stat from Keegan Avenue, had only allowed 1 deep completion, which is 20 or more yards, only 1 in his entire career leading up to today. He allowed 2 today. 6 targets, 5 receptions, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 PBU, 2 tight window throws, and Adoree Jackson gave up 4 receptions, 53 yards, and a touchdown. So that's the beauty of not just having CD and then living and dying by those CD drops. He had to drop on that 4th down, turnover on downs and stuff like that. But then George Pickens is just taking over in this game. I mean, just dunks on Cooper DeJean. He had the catch and run at the end of the game. You just felt so. It's Quinnen Williams. But then George Pickens. So like you said, Jerry's kind of, I don't know, front door, maybe side doored his way to this because it's like, I don't know, these moves are working and I'm seeing the vision. I would put it that way. I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah. It seems like people like just being around Dak Prescott. He's got a calming effect on the brain for some reason because George, George has had his breakout season. And George has been amazing this year. Just easily the best football that he's played in his career. Got Quinnen and he's back playing some of the best ball of his career after he had a little, maybe emotional slump to end his New York career. And we know how close Dak and Michael were during their time together. So maybe Dak is just kind of the emotional equalizer that gets these guys to just unlock the crazy portion of their brains on the field. Just keep it within the field. Keep it on the field. Because I haven't seen George do the fighting stuff that he was doing with the Steelers where he's take himself out of a play to swing on somebody. So they've kind of gotten some of this behavior corrected too.
Even after the CD Lamb, or like when I keep bringing up this series, but it was important because it went Saquon Barkley fumble, and then the Cowboys went 3 and out, I think, and then punted, and there was a fumble by the punt returner, and then it got stifled, and then the turnover and downs at the goal line. After that, CD has a drop. He's telling Dak to throw it out there, and I was like, dude, you dropped it. Like, who cares where he threw it? You catch the ball. But that's the type of play they showed Pickens. And it's like, oh, why are they showing Pickens? He probably did something like threw his helmet or something. And he was just like, ah. And I was like, oh, that's progress. Like, because he's not having a freak out moment. He didn't get the target, like something of that sort. So like you say, I've always made a joke like this that, Seabiscuit, the horse, they had a lot of horses, especially high, strong thoroughbreds. They get calmed by other animals. Sometimes it's cat. Could be a dog, could be a goat. And Seabiscuit had another horse, like this big horse named Pumpkin. And sometimes Seabiscuit needs a pumpkin. And that's George Pickens. And that's Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is his pumpkin, is the way I'm going to put it, because I think that's actually working out for them. But I don't know. I really like watching this Cowboys offense. I thought the Eagles offense was going to start turning a corner. They did for a quarter and a half, it felt like. And then kind of just, again, some more frustrations. Eagles defense is legit. It's just that the Cowboys offense is very legit as well. So I thought this was just a really nice win by the Cowboys. Of course, Eagles, of course, are still a real good team in the NFC, but it just got to get over the hump of that offense that's outside just the go balls. The run game's got to get going. I mean, that's just obvious. This Cowboys defense, well, they didn't have Quinnen Williams at that point, was giving up 200 yards a pop on the ground going into this game. So some fun runs from the Cowboys, some counter runs, a lot of stuff, a lot of pullers, but big win on the Cowboys. Anything to close on this game, Chuck? But that's all I got on it.
Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Cowboys defense. Because the back seven is still a little shaky. But if you can, if you can just blow up plays before they start, as they were doing when they had Micah Parsons, that's a pretty good strategy for kind of covering up some of that stuff. So. Good job, Jerry. You've kind of turned the thing around a little bit. Actually, a lot of it, man. Like they got a good base to move forward from.
They do. And they got resources this offseason. I know. I even said last week, I was like, they're set up for 2026 like really well. And they're just making this season interesting. Both of these teams have interesting schedules too. Cowboys Chiefs play on Thanksgiving, which talking about execs. Oh my God. The execs are fired up about that one. Then followed up with the Lions, Vikings, Chargers, Commanders, Giants. So it goes up and then kind of, some very winnable games on the back end there. Eagles got the Bears on Black Friday, then Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders. Okay. So kind of a fun tailwind for both teams, up and down games. But Cowboys win NFC East battle. I feel like these games are always fun. All right, we're going to move on to high number 2. Another game with some playoff implications, but this one was in the AFC. Don't count out those Chiefs. Chiefs win this game 23-20, and it was really another game that was a tale of two halves. More negative, I think, for the Colts, but Patrick Mahomes is inevitable. Just freaking Michael Myers. He's just going to walk you down. That's what it felt like in this game. The Leroy Horde, Kareem Hunt run game. I got a stat on that one, by the way. So put a pin in Kareem Hunt in short yardage. You inspired me, by the way. But the Chiefs had 33 first downs to the Colts 10. Oh, just wait. You're going to like it. Chiefs had 33 first downs to the Colts 10. Chiefs had 17 first downs in the second half in overtime. Colts had 5. And that's with their average starting field position being their own 19, the Chiefs. And the Colts had a 35.2% success rate today, 30% in the second half, both lowest of the seasons. They only ran 50 plays today. So really that Chiefs defense stepped up in the second half, and then Mahomes definitely stepped up in the second half. But what'd you think about this game, Chuck?
It was good to see the Chiefs like kind of do the inevitability thing, because man, it did feel shaky there for a little bit, because I was getting worried because I was looking at the numbers after this game. I saw Jonathan Taylor ran the ball 16 times for 58 yards, but it felt like a lot more than that during the game. Like it felt like the runs that he was having having success, or at least like just kind of making them feel it. He had a 44% rush success rate on the day, finished with negative EPA. So they did better basically than anybody else has done to hold them in check, which I think is something that they should really take home from this game, because that's not really what I expected. I expected them to kind of have a much tougher time holding the Chiefs or holding the Colts rushing attack at bay. So the fact that you did that, that's a good sign going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then if you told me before this game that Kareem Hunt would carry the ball 30 times, I'd be like, whoa, something either went really, really right or really, really bad in this game. But he did the thing again where he gets you just enough clutch runs where you can keep it moving, and then Mahomes, I think, locked in at the end. It was an up and down day for Mahomes, but I thought overall it was more good from him than bad. He missed some throws that he normally would hit.
He had a couple bad misses, and then he had a couple just beauties. I want to talk. I want to share the Kareem Hunt stat real quick, because I'm just giddy. It's like my Christmas. All right, so you said it in our group chat. You're like, Kareem Hunt is like a short yardage god or something of that sort. In our group chat.
4th and 1. All right,
so I looked it up. 25 runs this year for Kareem Hunt on 3rd and 4th down, and 1 or 2 yards to go. So that's defined as short yardage. Okay. He's been successful in 21, 25 of them, 0 explosives, of course. That seems high. I was like, all right, that seems like a lot. 25 already in week 12. It's the record for a running back through the first 12 weeks of the season. It's the record. 25 is the record. He broke the record of Thomas Brown, I believe it was, had 24 through 12 weeks. And since 2002, the full season record is 32, which is Edgerrin James in 2003. The record since 2013 is 30 by Ezekiel Elliott in 2018. So you were right. It was like it feels like he could get these all day, and he's converting on 84% of them, 21 to 25. But I just had to share that one. So it is historical how many short yardage runs he's getting so far.
Well, because it's like it's buoying like his EPA stats. Like, because I remember what got me on this earlier in the season is
high leverage God.
I'm watching Kareem Hunt play. I'm like, oh my God, he looks awful, man. Like, he looks so slow, so bad. And then his EPA numbers would be like some of the best each week, and he's having some of the best EPA numbers of his career. And then I split it out. I was like, oh my God, this is all just like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, which is obviously going to be a positive EPA play. And if you just match up, if you just like amass a bunch of them, you're going to have pretty good numbers for the season. So I thought it was interesting that he got so many carries today. Maybe you'll be a little lighter on that in the future, because it's not like you were getting too much on some of those. But yeah, he's the short yardage god right now. And this is what good football teams do, right? Like, you have something you're good at in key situations. So you just do it over and over and over again until someone
Over and
stops
over.
you. But no one has yet
That's
this
it.
year.
Football's not that hard. And then you just have, once in a while you just make Mahomes does some stuff. Rasheed Rice makes some great
Yeah.
catches. He had some nice catch and runs at the end there. No, their run game. I mean, their offensive line was mauling at points today, especially like early on. They had some double teams where they're just moving guys. And again, it's not the sexiest thing, but it's in baseball, pitchers, they call him an innings eater. And that's what Kareem Hunt is. He just eats those innings. It's not sexy. It's not a bunch of strikeouts. He gives up 5 runs, but guess what? He got you through 6 innings. That's what he does. Mahomes, though, I had to look this up because I was like, man, it didn't feel like a very gimmicky Chiefs offense today. And I mean that as a complimentary in a lot of ways. Some stuff is still frustrating. Every time I see Matt Nagy on the sideline, I'm like, yep, that's probably why. But the Mahomes had 54 dropbacks today. Only 6 were play action. So 48 non-play action dropbacks. That's a ton. It's like Drew Brees at Purdue. 48% success rate, 7 explosives on those. And I thought there was a couple that was like, this is cool. Even if, this player I'm not very high on, I thought it was a very cool moment. So the Rashee Rice stuff was great. I am high on Rashee Rice. I think he's excellent. But Xavier Worthy, it was a 3rd and 7 at the end of the game. It was they had 2 routes right next to each other. It was just a really cool thing that Mahomes can do. That's like, I can never teach this to somebody if I were a coach, but it's just like, this is how special he is. And this is what he creates. So it's a 3rd and 7 overtime to Xavier Worthy. They have 2 vertical routes from a bunch formation. I just had to describe this play because it's much even better than on rewatch than it was in the moment. And the Tyquan Thornton and Xavier Worthy are both running vertical routes at the deep safety. It's Rodney Thomas. And then one runs a corner route, Tyquan Thornton, and then Xavier Worthy runs the over route. And Mahomes on it, drops back. He does the shoulder turn stuff and starts kind of like, kind of jogging forward. All he's doing is staring at Rodney Thomas dead center. He's not looking at either route. Nice little 3D there with the camera. He's not. It's like a Friday the 13th movie. He was not staring at either route. He just dead center staring at Rodney Thomas. And as soon as Rodney Thomas goes with Tyquan Thornton, which I would too, he just goes, no looks it and throws it to Xavier Worthy. He just throws it to a spot. And Worthy makes a nice catch and goes for a first down. And so imagine like it looked like a zipper getting unpulled, humana. But it was just such a cool moment from Mahomes where he was just, it was just like jogging it. And his ADOT in the second half was 10.7 yards. Like he was chucking that thing. It wasn't all great. Like I agree with you. They had a couple misses, but it was like in the moment they need to make plays. He made plays. And I'll say Romo did a nice job today going like, oh, this is playoff Mahomes. This is what it feels like. And I was like, I agree. And I think there's a couple weeks in a row, Romo's been on the ball about how the feel and flow of the game is. He did it last week with the special teams against the Broncos, but I just had to break down that play because I just thought it was so cool what Mahomes can do and accomplish like in these big moments.
Yeah, I mean, he had a 50%, almost a 50% drop back success rate today. Positive EPA. It's really good. It's really good.
He's really good.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. Like there's a reason why even at 5-5, we're saying this team can win the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. But I think that was a good win for them, and I think it was a really good win for the defense too, to kind of stand tall and play well in a situation where you haven't this year, and that offense is built to stampede you, and you kind of stood up to that. So that was a really good game for the Chiefs defense too. I thought against the run.
Oh, I know the Colts just couldn't put it away. It felt like all their bootlegs were getting clamped down on, and this is what you're scared of. It's like when Daniel Jones has to drop back a ton, like because on his straight dropbacks with no play action, definitely wasn't as successful as Mahomes. 20 dropbacks with non-play action, 30% success rate on those, and at the end, like they went 3 and out on their last 4 possessions, and that felt weird because it was like, oh, it feels like this should be the Colts be able to put this away. And they went in their fourth quarter, they went 3 plays, -2 yards, only took 1 minute off the clock, 1 minute, 2 seconds. Next drive, 3 plays, 7 yards, took 1:10. Last drive of the fourth quarter, 3 plays, 1 yard, took off 1:02. As I don't know, when the Colts are rolling, that does not feel that way. And that's why it just felt tight in the second half. And I still feel good about them overall, but it was definitely the Chiefs in the second half kind of taking over this game. They had some under center stuff like the Colts were getting to in the first half. In the second half, the Chiefs adjusted, took it all away. It was a really nice performance from the Chiefs. That's why, like you said, it's just like they just feel Always got to keep an eye on them. Always got to keep an eye on them. That's why we had them as the favorite.
Yeah.
All right.
I got one
Now
more
they're up
thing.
to.
One more.
Oh, yeah.
I had one more thing. Just on the, it was just a tag along to the Colts not getting going. They've been a monster on early down runs this year. Easily like the best team in the league on rushing first and second down. Today, first and second down runs, 13 carries, 31 yards. 31% of those rushes did not gain a single yard, and obviously negative EP on the play. And yards before contact, we talked about that last week. On those first and second down runs, they were at over 2 yards at yards before contact. Today, they're at 0.4. So Chiefs defense, it kind of brought it to them.
Yeah. They had the highest over. You had first and second down overall, just highest run stuff rate for the Colts today. And they had no turnovers.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, man, they got a couple turnovers and that's why that happened. It was, they just got stifled. I mean, that's just what happened in this game. So, no, that's a great stat. That's exactly how it felt. How would you stack up the AFC now? I put you on the spot last week. How would you have like your top 4 or top 5 maybe for the AFC, just off the top of your head?
I think I would go Kansas City first at 6-5. I mean 6-5. Yeah, I think Kansas City's the best team in the AFC. And even like I guess number 2, I'd still go Buffalo just because I like Josh Allen. I don't like the defense, but when they're at their best, I think they can just get rolling. 3rd, I would probably go New England, and that's really just off the strength of Drake May. I don't trust this defense really at all. I mean, even today, like you're having some moments where you're breaking down against Joe Flacco, and they've had some weak moments this season. Even the Falcons, like, almost had a chance to beat them in Foxborough a few weeks ago. So I think that defense could be a real poison pill for them. And then the 4th team, I guess probably Indianapolis. Like they haven't been as clean the last few weeks, but still at their best, they can stampede you. So I'll go Kansas City, Buffalo, New England, and Indianapolis for my 4.
That's fair. Texans got to be in there now. I just had no idea.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I just don't
so
like Davis
good.
Mills. I just can't watch any more Davis Mills starts. I don't know.
I think Stroud is coming back.
He has moments. Yeah.
The Texans O-line actually it's not awful. Like, which is a huge improvement. That's all we need.
Yeah.
Look how much better the entire team looks when the O-line is just not awful. That's all we asked. It's not awful. Yeah. It's much better. So I know I kind of have them up there. I'm kind of similar to you. I have the Bills a little lower because you can just run on them so much. And that's what just scares me. Yeah. And just the offense, just running mesh on every
Joe Brady's not having the greatest stretch right now.
Yeah, but it's when they're clicking, it's just like, who stops this offense? And it's like, well, it feels like that meme where it's like, who's stopping this offense? Like boom, 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 boom. And then it's like, I should just a picture of Joe Brady. And it's like, that's what's stopping the offense a little bit. I hate to blame it all on there, but no, I think that's fair with the power rankings. All right. High number 3, we're bouncing over to the NFC, which was I would say for about 10 minutes in real life was about to be a low for this team. And then this guy and the team pulls it off. And that's the Lions win 34-27. Jahmyr Gibbs has an absolute monster day, goes absolutely ballistic on the ground. 15 carries, 219 yards, 2 tutties, had 45 receiving yards and another touchdown on a sick catch, going over Willie May style at the goal line. 11 successful runs. Only one of them was stuffed. 7 of his runs, he reached 15 miles an hour or more. 2, he reached 20 miles an hour or more. Whew. And we'll get to Jameis too in this game as well, but whew. How about this one for Jahmyr Gibbs and the Lions, Chuck?
Shoot, he saved their asses today. I mean, another player who's just really, really good. I mean, it's kind of crazy still that he can just kind of take over games in these moments where it just feels like it feels like you're kind of just holding on for dear life at times, just trying as a defense, like, okay, we can just keep him bottled up, like inside. Next thing you know, like he's gash one, like literally 80 yards on you. And those are the plays that he's getting, it feels like he's getting every week, man. I mean, even last week against the Eagles, when they were kind of struggling to get into a rhythm on offense, and even at times in this game when they were struggling to get into the rhythm of the passing game, like you can just kind of turn around and say, all right, well, we'll toss it to Jahmyr. He's going to make someone miss, and we're off for, a 50, 60-yard explosive play. I mean, it's just a total game changer to have in your backfield. And I almost wonder, like, how far can you just ride this? Because this seems to be the plan, right? When they have these offensive runs, just find Jahmyr and get him the ball and see what can happen. And so far, the results have been good. I'm like, should he be in the offensive player of the year race? Like, because it seems like he's kind of become their whole offense. just based with all of the production that he's had the past few weeks. And I think it's really cool to just have like this kind of easy button that you can press. But I'm not sure if it's cool that you needed it so much today. That's a big issue. I mean, I don't know who that linebacker was who got dunked on by Jameis Winston,
Barnes.
Which was just like a legit Barnes, who was a legitimately like impressive play by Jameis. I mean, to make the catch like in contact, like box at the linebacker, make the catch in contact, spin around, break a tackle, like that's just flat out good receiver play. Barnes, come on, bro. Come on, man.
After Jameis throws up the hand too, which killed me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, where else do you think this ball's going, buddy? Like, which I thought was just amazing. It should have been a sack too, which was just unbelievable. And then he had a 3rd and 17, like crazy play to Theo Johnson, like a great throw too. They had a double pass TD. The Giants just were throwing the kitchen sink in this game. I mean, that's why they're hanging in it. I appreciate Kafka throwing the kitchen sink and they went fourth down at the goal line. I appreciate all that, but the receiving touchdown was hilarious. I mean, that was like an unbelievable catch, but I just love that the putting up the mailbox arm, just like throwing the ball. But with Gibbs, our friend Ben Solak had a tweet with some more of his stats. First player to average at least 14 yards per carry on 15 or more rushes since Derrick Henry in 2018, which feels appropriate. And then the first player to get 200 or more rushing yards and 15 or fewer carries since Isaiah Crowell in 2018. So it was just, the touchdown on the first play in overtime, untouched on duo, which is never happens. And he takes it to the house. And then he had a 49-yarder in the second quarter, also duo. And also that one was out jumbo personnel. So it's like they've hit like they've gotten more explosive runs off duo runs than probably any team I've seen. I've seen teams get a lot of doubles and like 15-yarders and 12-yarders and 18-yarders, but it just brings that speed element. It can take it to the house. And then they had the 49-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter on outside zone. Again, all these plays were just on the safety, that's the goal of run play is there's usually going to be one on-block guy or a guy that the running back has to take care of. You're hoping it's the corner. That's what duo is usually intended to. But if you're going to play against these soft shells like the Giants were, it's going to be the safety. And there's Nubin, or actually it wasn't even Nubin. I shouldn't put him on a poster. But it was a couple guys, but safety was just frozen and Gibbs just erases all the angles. So it's just I've never seen duo weaponized that much. Maybe in my experience, maybe Robert Smith from the Vikings when my dad was coaching him. Like that's the only guy I can think of off the top of my head. Like Edgerrin James was a zone runner. So it's just really, it's a different type of like element to bring to this play that's so physical. So it's just like he's hitting them for bombs, and they're usually only plays that go for singles and doubles. Like how Kyron Williams runs is how duo usually goes: 5 yards, 6 yards, 4 yards, 12 yards, 5 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards. Not this, not 69-yarder, not 49-yarder, which is a much to Gibbs, and also just the tackling of the Giants defensive backs. Also, Giants offense had 10 explosive passes today. Right after I'm like, hey, Lions defense is elite. Everyone should focus on the Giants or the Lions defense. They're so good. Check out Shepard. Like everyone check them out. They give up 10 explosive passes, 23 yards, 39 yards, 40 yards, 42 yards, 26 yards, 24 yards, 20 yards, 33 yards, 30 yards, 39 yards. That's the team that lost today. They had 6 plays of 30 or more yards. The Lions had 5 plays of 30 more yards. I had to share that because we had 11 plays basically were double explosives today.
Okay. I just saw something hilarious. Because I was looking at this game and I was like, man, like the Lions really ran for all this with Dexter Lawrence on the Giants, really? And the answer is not really, no. So Dexter Lawrence on plays where he is on the field, the Lions had 8 carries for 31 yards on plays where Dexter Lawrence was on the field. Plays where he was off the field, 12 carries, 202 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 17 yards per carry. Wow. Guys, you can't be that reliant on them. You can't be that reliant on them. Really? One guy and you're giving up 20 yards a rush?
Wow. I mean,
that's really bad.
That's really that's like you said, it's like if really doing with Dexter Lawrence. Well, no, not really. Raheem Nunez-Roches had like a sack today, and I actually thought it was Dexter Lawrence. I was like, oh, look at that move, and it was Nunez-Roches, which was like a little bit of like the Lions' interior offensive line. But then here they are going for 202 bills to Jahmyr Gibbs. So no, that's a great one.
Yeah.
The Giants, by the way, first team to be eliminated from playoff contention. So congrats on that. But I don't know. I've been enjoying the Kafka experience. It's just like, so we maybe get Jackson Dart back out there. We'll see how they finish the rest of the season. But the Lions are still in it in a very tough NFC North. And they got their Thanksgiving game with the Packers. That's how we start that morning. Then they go Cowboys, Rams, Steelers, Vikings, Bears. So interesting schedule for the Lions the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Every game matters. All right. Let's get to the downside here. That's really just how we had to package this. This was a high, just peek behind the curtain. We turned it to a low just to fill out the show. This is the Steelers choke away a division lead as the Bears win 31-28. The Bears have now won 8 of their last 9. Mason Rudolph did okay, I would say.
Yeah.
But that's also just the Bears defense caveat, disclaimer, because the Bears defense was already down their 3 starting linebackers, and then their 4th linebacker got hurt like midway through the game. So it was just they're holding on. It's gum and toothpicks with that defense right now for at least a week or two. But no, Steelers now losing the division right now to the Ravens, who aren't playing absolutely outstanding. But what'd you think of this game, Chuck?
Just another day filled with filled with explosives for the Bears offense. Caleb Williams at 20%. Explosive pass rate today. Maybe you want to see a little bit more consistency, for the whole offense from down and down. 38% success rate, and I thought that felt about right. I mean, they felt a little sloppy at times. Love Caleb Williams, but man, the TJ Watt suplex in the end zone was hilarious. How do you find yourself in that situation where you are getting flipped on your back in the end zone?
It's a perfect flex.
You definitely don't want to. Yeah, you definitely don't want to see that happen with a guy like that. But they're able to survive some of the mistakes and get through it. I thought this was a little more entertaining than I guess I thought it would be, but still some moments of slop. And I think, man, just. I guess where I kind of come away from this game now that we're officially looking at the Bears as a playoff team. You're 8-3. I don't know how they can win a game with this defense, man. Like you said, Mason Rudolph did not have a terrible day, which is a problem. If you're trying to be a playoff team. I still can't find myself getting too excited about their chances to win a game. But the fact that this offense is definitely real, and you're able to do it kind of against a lot of different styles of defense. They're obviously a lot more prepared than they were last year, which is not a high bar to clear. But I think you're seeing the immediate value that Ben Johnson has brought, and man, they just got a lot of good young players. The Colson Loveland touchdown today, where Caleb threw it 1,000 miles per hour. I don't even know how he saw the damn ball, but he caught it and dragged the defender to the end zone. I mean, they're so close. They just got to get the down stuff a little more consistent, but. That could happen next year, man. They really are that close.
Right. Or maybe, I mean, they got a pretty brutal schedule. But maybe it just keeps going. Gets going because they play, just might be one of those things. They play Black Friday. So it might be they get a little mini bye after they play the Eagles, and maybe they kind of tweak a couple more things. But I agree with you. Even the Steelers were more efficient than them today. But the Bears had 9 explosives and the Steelers had 4. And they were even on the turnover battle. So, and why it's so important with how the Bears play is that this is all by design. So really you can look at their success of their games based on explosive play rate. Did they win that? Okay, then that was their goal in the game. And I think the run game is still rolling. I know Swift can be frustrating. He had a fumble today. And I think I texted his group chat, but said Xavier Worthy is the DeAndre Swift of wide receivers. But I loved a few of the designs. They had a lead draw play from under center that just makes me excited because I understand why they do it, because they do so much under center drop back. And so now you get the change up off the change up that I love. And then they had a design run to Caleb Williams on 4th and 1 that I loved. There was a QB wineback. So it's just they have so many good designs. And even when Caleb is off, I thought, there's a couple off throws, but I would say to the outside, they had a bunch of near misses. And it felt to me, but it was just also a credit to what Ben Johnson was doing. There's so much good stuff that was happening. Caleb hit a couple, there's a seam bender he hit to Roman Dunze where Peyton Wilson didn't collision him. I actually thought JJ Watt did a good job pointing that out. But then I'm glad you brought up the Colson Loveland touchdown because first off, he's such a moose and like an obvious star, Colson Leveland to me. But the design on that one was awesome. And the Bears have had some struggles with red zone, but it was more just wait it out. Johnson's good. And now we're seeing some cool designs. That one was nice. It was just, I mean, it was fairly simple on it, but it was a receiver motion. So it makes Loveland basically the outside receiver with like a close split. And because of how the leverage was on the DB, the DB is head up on him off, which is just as normal against the tight end. He thinks he has inside help, but because of the motion, now he's outside leverage against the in-breaking route. And because the receiver's on the crosser, he has no inside help. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like that seems simple. Oh, put a guy into motion, but it's like deliberate. And it has like, there's a reason why they did that. And they knew what they were getting from the Steelers. I just love that. And then the guys execute. Caleb Williams throws it, like you said, 110 miles an hour. Colson Loveland catches it and carries the guy into the end zone. And then even the DJ Moore touchdown was a cool design, just like a little whip route. And I thought Caleb threw that one early, like with no hesitation, right as he came out of the break, pins it on him. That's just hard to guard. I thought, I thought it's very encouraging. They're so explosive, but like you said, the defense is just and right now they have a 54% chance to make the playoffs per New York Times playoff model. But man, the offense is good. It's just, even if it has the inconsistencies, they could still do this stuff. And it's really cool to see. And our friend Deontay Lee brought up a great point. Ben Johnson is just such a good adjuster, like as the game goes along, which you can really see in the run game, but passing game too. And between the halves. So like Deontay had the stat, he tweeted this. So in the first half, the Bears are 18th in dropbacks EPA. In the first half, they're 8th in the second half per dropback, I should say. In the first half, they're 16th in rushing EPA per run. In the second half, they're first. So again, they just know how to adjust. Ben Johnson does. The players are getting more confident. They're cutting out some of the sloppiness. And it's just like, yeah, this is some good stuff that they're doing.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. I've just never seen them have an offense before. Like, this is actually like brand new.
No, right? I mean, when I wrote them up, it was like every stat was like this is the best Bears offense of the millennium. Like I can look up usually to 2002, but I mean, the 90s Bears were not cooking. So I would say this is probably the best Bears offense since the 80s with Walter Payton and Jim McMahon. I mean, it's crazy. It's explosive. The run game's really efficient. It's built to win. Like, this is an offense built to win. And you got the Caleb creation plays. The sack was not good, but or the strip sack. But other than that, it's still pretty. It's winning football.
No, but it was funny. It was funny though.
It was funny. Yeah, nice little German suplex. The Ravens now up on the Steelers. If the season ended today, the Steelers would be looking outside the playoffs. The New York Times has them as an 18% chance to make the playoffs now. The Ravens are up to 89% chance to make the playoffs. That's a big difference from where we were about 6 weeks ago. And I think the Ravens feel incomplete, but hey, AFC, that's the story of the AFC. I mean, that, right? I feel like every team feels incomplete in the AFC right now.
Yeah, dude, Lamar Jackson is so obviously hurt right now. I don't care what he says. Like, I'm watching him run. He can't run away from like some of these linebackers on the Jets. I'm like, okay, dude. You can say you're healthy, but I saw you play like 2 months ago. And you were housing some of these, so yeah. I don't know if they have the juice right now. They just look sloppy, man.
They do. Receivers aren't making play. Everyone just seems banged up. Like Isaiah Likely seems banged up. Zay Flowers should be a role player. He should not be the main feature of your passing game. Derrick Henry looks slower, and not just eye test. I looked it up. Like, this is the slowest he's been of his career. The O-line is just not getting it done. I know. So it's like, they got somebody in the North. Somebody save us. Somebody do something up here. But I looked at their schedule. The Steelers' schedule is Bills at Ravens, Dolphins at Lions, at Browns, hosting the Ravens. So kind of the very, very important games on the way home. A lot of AFC games, and they're one NFC games against the Lions. The Bears have at Eagles on Black Friday, at Packers, Browns, Packers, at 49ers, Lions. Whew. They got some tough slates coming up for these teams. But the AFC North is just, it's a no I insist battle between each of these teams. We'll go to low number 2. The Seahawks control this game, but Titans lose despite a really, really solid day from Cam Ward. They're stacking these up. Really fun. He's a guy that's much more fun on rewatch. I was keeping an eye on this game. Just want to watch more in the moment. So yes, the Titans lose this game 30-24. It was more of a blowout than that looks. Cam Ward finished 28-42, 256 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was sacked 4 times. He's been sacked a lot this year. I will say that. And if you rewatch it, it's more no one's getting open, and he wants to sling it, and so he's hunting plays. I think he'll get out of that, but had a lot of positive things today. He had a couple of really nice creation plays on top of other stuff that was in structure. But what'd you think about Cam Ward and the rest of this game, Chuck?
Dude, that was awesome, man. Like,
right?
Because honestly, I thought they were just going to get slaughtered, right?
Right.
What was anybody expecting going into this game? I mean, even the spread, I think, was they were like 13-point road favorites or something like that. So the fact that he can stand tall and play against a defense like that and just sit back there, throw after throw after throw, and it's not just all a bunch of short stuff. Like, he's really out there trying to make plays against, what is probably the best defense in the league. I mean, shoot, he had a better game than Matt Stafford did last week, and he's not playing with the weapons that Matt Stafford is. So, man, that I thought that was a really impressive game for Cam Ward. Easily the best game of the season for him to me. Like, I know they have the win against Arizona, but he wasn't good in that game really until the fourth quarter. But to get a complete kind of start to finish that's against this defense with this supporting cast that's not very good right now, that to me would kind of validate the whole season if I was a Titans fan. Like, getting to see that game, yeah, you lost and it's tough, but you feel like you have the guy, I think, at this point in the season. And even though you're 1-10, it probably doesn't reflect how you feel about the quarterback. Like, that, you see with all these rookie quarterbacks, it's not because people are like, oh, why are you guys giving up on JJ so fast? Like, because he's never shown anything like this. Like, you can have your runway to get better, but at some point, like, you have to show some within one game. Could you give us like a half? Could you give us a few drives that you stack on top of each other where you're playing well? He hasn't done that, but like guys like Cam has, and it gives you a lot of encouragement, I think, going into next year that you have the guy, because today was awesome for him.
Yeah, I've been talking more about him the last couple of weeks, but that's kind of my belief too. It's like, oh no, you're good. Like, you check the box to me. Yeah. Like, this is what ceiling it is. That's something to be determined. But as far as like, this is a guy that the Titans will pay in a couple of years or extend. Yes, I think that's just the trajectory we're going on, which is a franchise QB in a modern sense. And I just watch. He's a guy that you appreciate more on rewatch. Like, it just, his timing is really good. I know you see creation plays, and even I've highlighted a lot of his creation plays. This guy Cam Ward really understands how to play quarterback. Like, really understands when to get rid of the ball, when to move off of stuff, when to get into creation mode, when to try a trick shot, when to try just something safe, throwing guys open, which is the number one thing you want to see from young guys. Has it all been perfect? Of course not. Like, his underlying stats aren't great. I mean, they're pretty bad actually. But again, it's considering the circumstances. He's throwing his top 3 receivers or pass catchers are all rookies. Like, we other teams have one guy that can barely get on the field. Look at the Texans. They don't even want to play their 2 rookies. And meanwhile, the Titans have to play 3 rookies at tight end and receiver. Really 4, because now that Xavier Restrepo was playing today, which was his college number 1 guy.
Finally got in
killable
there.
Xavier
Finally
Restrepo.
Got in there.
Yeah. He finally got in. It got a huge first down, a little creation play. It was nice. But I'm just curious where they go from here, who they hire. Their Titans are in a weird spot. They're building a new stadium and everything. But it also is just the owner just seems like a total wild card, which is just, you don't know who they're going to hire, who's even going to be interested in that. And I don't think they pay very much. And again, that's more stuff I've just heard. None of that stuff's confirmed and everything, but that also limits your chances. But maybe they splash on somebody. So, but the thing is, you have the quarterback and you actually have some offensive line and you have enough defenders. Like, Jeffrey Simmons rocks. So it's like, you could catch it. Like, if you get the right guy.
I said, they had Sam Darnold some binds today, man. Yeah, they didn't capitalize.
Yeah.
But they played a decent game outside of the JSN targets where they were just lit on fire and couldn't do anything to stop.
Yeah, Jason finished with 167 yards and 2 touchdowns, by the way. So I should mention that. and the Seahawks had their best rushing game of the entire season. But it was tough in the second half. Like, they were trying to, like, they couldn't really get anything going throwing. So here's a good stat. I don't always use the stat, but it's from Next Gen Stats. They have yak over expected, and the Titans today had negative 55 yak over expected. So yak under expected, I should say. Yeah, you don't see that number. Usually it's like -4, -8. not negative 55. So just to kind of speak to what Cam Ward's working with, the O-line's actually okay. But no, there's not a lot of guys getting open. That's why he has to enter creation mode. But I don't know, man. He's good. He's good. He's a lot of fun to watch. I hope more people put eyeballs on him, even though they keep losing games. I don't know who they go with in the draft. It might be a great draft for them to move back slightly and for a quarterback needy team, especially this type of draft that feels wide open. But you got Jordan Tyson from Arizona State, Carnell Tate from Ohio State, Mekhi Lemon from USC, Denzel Boston from Washington. I really, they need some playmakers because I kind of like the defense, kind of like the O-line, but I'm very curious of the Titans. They're one of my most interesting subplot teams going into the offseason, even though we're in week 12 right now, but it's the offseason for Titans. I know that you guys are already looking at mock drafts down there in Tennessee. All right, let's wrap. Probably one of ours. We'll have a mock draft this week, so check out our Turkey Day mock draft that we have coming out this week. Me and Chuck. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know who we're going to give them, but yeah, we'll give you guys something interesting. Maybe we'll do a trade for once. All right, low number 3. This was just going to tie it all up. Late slate slop watches. Say that 5 times fast. Yeah. That is what the afternoon game was outside Eagles Cowboys. Even though their games were tight as far as like Jags Cards, it was just evil shenanigans, not cheeky and fun shenanigans in Arizona. The Browns win 24-10. The Browns defense had 10 sacks, I believe. Was it 10 sacks they had on the day?
Dude, I was losing my mind watching this game.
With no Chip help?
Chip Kelly, go home, bro. Why did you do this? Why did you come back to the NFL paycheck to do this? I don't get it. Like if you Chip, you have so much money. You already have so much money. How could this raise have been worth it? Like if you're at Ohio State, that's a better job than the Raiders now. You can just go buy all the best players like you did last year. It's not you don't have to. Oh, I don't want to recruit. You don't have to. You just have to get some booster to hand Jeremiah Smith $1 million, and then you can win a championship.
Or Quinshon Judkins.
Right. I just can't believe that he just walked away from that to do this instead. And it's just like I think I think Forsyth, the Raiders' backup left tackle, dude. Yep. Chip just left about
give
to
up 10 pressures and 4 sacks.
Dude, no help at all. Just left him on the island against Myles Garrett all day. And it was funny because Myles, he kept getting close all day. And then at the end, he got the big strip sack on Geno Smith, who was just under siege all day. I mean, I could not believe what I was watching from the Raiders offense. That's just bad. And I know that people are going to talk about Shedeur today as the story, but because they got the win and he's the first Browns quarterback to get win his first start in like 30 years, which is absolutely insane. I mean, good God, dude, like that. They've cycled through so many quarterbacks too, which is it's kind of crazy. He had the nice big throw on 3rd down. Outside of that, like 76% of his yards came after the catch. Had an interception. You didn't see anything that would make you change your opinion on drafting a quarterback next year. So I think the story here is just 10 sacks by the Browns defense. That's like I love defense. If you listen to the show, I love defensive linemen. But come on, Raiders, stand up for yourself. That's embarrassing, dude. That's embarrassing.
It is,
and it wasn't even all just like Geno. It's like a couple of last thing. A couple of them were Geno hold on to the ball, but a lot of it was just getting your ass beat. Like it was really bad.
10 sacks on 22 pressures, and like I'm glad you brought it up. There's no Chip help. Usually, no pun intended. But no, usually okay. I've been in games or I've been around games, no game plans and stuff where it's like, okay, we're chipping this guy. And then the one time you don't, that's when like Myles Garrett or Prime Von Miller or somebody gets home and you're just like, oh, dang it. That one time he got us. When you get a team gets 10 sacks and it was just everybody. Yeah. Stone Forsyth, 10 pressures allowed and 4 sacks, but then like Mason Graham was getting in on there. And then the Raiders overall had 15 missed tackles today. They had a 25% missed tackle rate. It's just they're so sloppy. I've used this term a few times the last week. Abomination. That's what the Raiders are right now. You mentioned it. Shedeur had a really nice deep ball in that 3rd and 8, breaking outside the pocket. He had 209. He had 152 of his 209 yards today were yak. So if you take out that 52-yard bomb, only 5 more of his yards were not yak today. So that is just speaking to what he was doing, what the offense is doing. I think Quinshon Judkins looked really nice on those runs. I still
He
really
was
like him as a
awesome
player.
today, yeah.
He's such a good runner. He's such a good runner. He is the epitome of an NFL running back. I just love how he runs on field. And when watching the stuff too, watching the Raiders, I mean, the long touchdown at the end, it was just like, I mean, nobody can make a tackle or come close to it. It's like, it was so embarrassing. Before the final drive, the Browns had a success rate of 25%. The Raiders had a success rate of 29%. The Browns had negative 0.25 EPA per play. The Raiders had negative 0.3 EPA per play. This was just an absolute train wreck of a game. and then to round out the rest of the afternoon games, we had Jaguars Cardinals, where like Trevor Lawrence has the pick early, nice pressure by Walter Nolan, and then he has the pick late, and then just sloppiness up and down for both teams, just like the whole entire game. And then the Jaguars come out late in overtime. Do you have any thoughts on that game or your Saints Falcons and whatever that game was? Alvin Kamara got hurt. I saw some Devin Neal, but then I also saw a lot of Taysom Hill. You didn't? Is that the first time you've ever watched it?
That was the first time I've watched a Saints Falcons game. Man, maybe since I was in college, like 2013. When
which makes sense. That's when time, but Julio got hurt and stuff. Yeah,
and I, just drinking a lot. Waking up a little bit too late for the game sometimes after a game day. So you know how it is. Sometimes on Sunday morning, you got a big win on Saturday. Might wake up a little late on Sunday and just roll out and try to get to film when I can. But I didn't watch today. I don't care. I truly did not care about this game at all. I'm not watching Kirk Cousins start any games. I can't do that. I will tune in for the Week 17 Rams game to watch the Rams seal their fate, because I don't think they're going to win any more games past this one. But no, I didn't watch that. They can get bent. I'm still waiting to hear that they have a new head coach.
You didn't miss much. I'll put it that way. Way too much Taysom Hill for my liking. I was really hoping this would be the Devin Neal game, and then Alvin Kamara gets hurt. I'm like, oh, interesting. I don't want Alvin Kamara to get hurt, for the record. I just want to see more Devin Neal, and then it's Taysom Hill getting 10 carries for 17 yards. 5 of them successful, I guess. So a lot of short yardage stuff. But anyways, that was the afternoon slate. It was a fun day of football. At least every time period had a game that was of interest for us. So I do appreciate that, even if it was Packers Vikings and the JJ McCarthy experience going against Micah Parsons. And I did think that the Packers offense got rolling a little bit today. So actually it was a fun back and forth. But Charles and I are closing out today, and I'll be back for a 3-man weave this week.
That's right.
We have a Turkey Day episode where we recorded before that, but it's a Turkey Week episode. So it's me, Matt Harmon, and my guy over there, Mr. Four Verts, Charles McDonald, will be back later this week for a special episode. Should be a lot of fun previewing the week of games. I'm Nate Tice. You can find me at Nate_Tice. That is Charles McDonald. You can find him at Four Verts. Make sure to give him a follow. Subscribe to us. Follow us. Or not.
You can also find me looking for, you can find me looking for pieces of Geno Smith in the Vegas, in the Raiders Stadium. Too. I'll be over there doing some excavation work.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of Browns fans here this week. Even just anecdotally here, being here in Vegas. A lot of Cleveland Browns fans, So they left happy at least. But subscribe to us, follow us, rate us. You can catch us on the Allegiant Stadium turf looking for Geno Smith and looking for the pride of the Raiders. You can also watch us on YouTube, on the Yahoo Sports YouTube channel, like you guys did right now, watching us live as we recap these weeks of games. So it was a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining us. Thanks to Stone Awesome Madison behind the scenes for making us look and sound good. Thank you all for listening. See you guys next time.